Like, he really made himself look like a fool for us. I have nothing but respect for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because not all coaches do that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, bro, we ride with Nick. We ride with Brian.
Dallas still stinks. Like the way, Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So A.J. Brown finally spoke. He finally spoke today, and all us mother humpers had to listen. I thought A.J. Brown came off absolutely really good today. I thought that A.J. Brown said all the right things, and I think it's very hard to dislike this guy. I totally understand where he's coming from, totally understand how he feels, and it was a really good press conference for him. It was really good that he spoke up. Now, that doesn't mean that the Eagles don't have some problems with the coaching staffs and other things like that. But obviously, A.J. Brown is still on board. A.J. Brown still has a lot of respect for Nick Sirianni. Listen to what he says here about Nick Sirianni.
Mad at Nick? I'm not mad at nobody. Like we have a great relationship. Like I said, I got a ton of respect for Nick. Because like I said, he take up for us when it be us, you know? And I even said, for example, I'm gonna get detailed. For example, I know that's what y'all want anyway, but I'm gonna get detailed. Like for the Seattle game, that was on us. Like we messed that up. We improvised and we went on our own. And Nick came out and said, "Oh, I wanted to try to get a flag or something crazy like that." It's like he really made himself look like a fool for us. I have nothing but respect for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because not all coaches do that. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro, we ride with Nick. We ride with Brian. We just got to come out. We just got to play ball. That's all it is. It's either one person messing up or something like that. And not saying that somebody just trying to mess up, but it happens. We human. You know what I'm saying? So like, but like I said, there's highs and lows, and you see the glimpses. So that's why I'm like, but we right there. We right there. Despite everything, despite everybody saying this or saying that, like we right there. And we know we are. And that's the only thing that matters, that we know. We know. You can say whatever you want to say. But when the shit happens, then it's gonna be like, oh, what is going on? Oh. What if it don't happen? Then we're gonna try again. That's just what it is, and that's how you have to approach life.
I really thought that was a really, really interesting comment he made about Nick Sirianni. Okay, because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I said this after the Seattle game when Nick Sirianni came out in that press conference, and he was like, "Yeah, we just threw it up there at the end of the game trying to get a pass interference." I thought that was the stupidest answer I've ever heard. But now we understand Nick Sirianni was actually standing up for the players that were improvising on the play. So I can't knock Nick Sirianni for that. You know, it's good to know that, you know, the players still respect the coach. Okay, because as people who sit there and are looking in and we're watching TV and we're trying to figure out how does this team go from 10-1, 2 games up on the conference, to losing 4 out of the last 5 games, and now becoming the 5th seed. How do you do all that without these players not wanting to pull away from the coach? We don't know. So it was good to hear A.J. Brown stand up and speak up for Nick Sirianni. Now, that doesn't solve all the problems. We still have a lot of problems, and we still have a lot of issues, and the coaches are still responsible. But you know, a split or a fractured locker room, that's not the case. And, you know, that article that came out that the main cancer was A.J. Brown is totally, absolutely, totally bogus. I mean, A.J. Brown, I don't know how anybody can't listen to the things that he said and not actually like what he said, okay? You know, there was a lot of talk about when he was coming off the field shaking his head and stuff, and he was frustrated, but he also said, listen, this is not about just me. I'm looking at my man going, damn, DeVonta Smith just got hurt. I can't lose my man. We need him. This is bad. And he was talking about that too. Listen to this.
The reason why I didn't speak to the media after the game because, you know, I didn't want to be negative, you know. I had already transitioned to the mindset where we were going through a tough time And so me personally, the person I am, who just know I just have to go back to work, you know. Ain't nothing I could do about it, you know. And like I said after the game, I said I was raised. If I had nothing nice to say, I'm not gonna say nothing at all. So I'm not just about to continue to compound the negative with the negative. So you guys can write more negative stuff. Like, you guys watch the game too, you know what I'm saying? So like, you guys already know. So that's why I was like, there's nothing more that I can say, you know. I'm not trying to make it worse than what it is. And so, you know, and then on top of that, you know, everything that I do, if I say something, I do anything, I'm classified as a monster, you know, honestly, you know, and it's honestly the opposite. You know, you saw my frustration on the field. It wasn't about the play call. It wasn't about none of that. It was about my guy getting banged up. And I'm gonna need Smitty moving forward. You know, and but that was it. You know, I apologize to my teammates today. You know, because they shouldn't have to answer questions on my behalf. You know, I'm a man. I can speak for myself. I was actually looking forward to seeing one of the reporters here today because I wanted to ask him a question. I'm still gonna say the question because. He wrote a story, and I did read the story. It was about he said a veteran said something about me and this and that. So I was going to ask him who is the veteran, you know, because I know who I am, and I know that's not, you know, you can portray me however you want to portray me, but you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, like, I know who I am, and so I try to be careful what I say because you guys still gonna write it up however you want to write it up. I was a journalism major. Like, that's what your job. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not upset at none of y'all or whatever, but that's just what comes with it. So.
Okay, so he's walking off the field, shaking his head, obviously frustrated. Of course, some of it has to do with the play, but it also had a big deal to do with DeVonta Smith and the fact that he had just got hurt. DeVonta Smith is very, very important to this team. And speaking of DeVonta Smith, we might as well talk about it. We did get some good news today. It looks like DeVonta Smith is not in his walking boot and is not on crutches. That's a really, really good sign. That's a really, really important sign for us. So it is good to see DeVonta Smith looking like there's a chance he may actually play. And then as far as, you know, A.J. Brown goes, you know, listen, he talked about it. We give everything we can to this team to trying to win. We're here before the sun comes up, where, you know, we don't leave until the sun goes down. So, yeah, things get frustrated. Things are off right now. But he still believes the team can get it done. All right? He still thinks they've got a shot.
AJ Brown frustrated with the Eagles. AJ this, AJ that, you know, but everybody in his locker room is frustrated. So why are you singling me out because I'm frustrated? Like, just because I'm shaking my head, I'm showing emotion. You can look at everybody in the stadium has bad body language. They're frustrated, you know? And so, yeah, I wanted to clear that up because it's not about me. Like, we're all frustrated. So I wanted to clear that up, man. Your question was?
No, about the other sources of the frustration.
Yeah, because I want to win. Like, I want to win, and I'm trying to do everything in my power to win. Like, I wake up before the sun come up. I go home when the sun is past hours after the sun has gone down. Like, this is our life. We dedicate our whole entire life to this shit. Like, I'm sorry, I'm cursing, but it's serious to us. You know what I'm saying? And so it comes with frustration because if one man goes the wrong way, a half inch, the play is over. It doesn't work, and that's what happens. And that's what actually happened that last drive. You know, that Brian is getting crucified on the play call or whatever. That second play, if somebody go the left and block a certain person, it's a 30-yard touchdown by Jalen. He runs in. So that's why it's the greatest game of it. That's the greatest game it is today because it takes all 11 to be on the same page. And if one person mess up, the whole play is over with.
Okay, so here are my thoughts on A.J. Brown speaking today and what I think about it and what I think it means, okay? I thought it was a very big deal that he spoke. I thought he needed to, and it was the right time because, yes, there were a lot of questions. You're starting to get ridiculous articles. A.J. Brown is a cancer in the locker room. Things like that just weren't true. Clearly, you could see, based upon what A.J. Brown said, he's not a cancer. He is just a guy that wants to win. Why is it so hard for people to understand? When you see a player frustrated, when he's mad or he's upset, that is not a bad thing. I'm telling you this. I would rather have a guy like A.J. Brown, a guy that cares, a guy that gets upset when things aren't going well. I would rather have a guy like that react the way he does than having one of these players that are sitting there losing on a sideline, laughing and joking around with each other. I cannot tell you how many Eagle teams where I was watching the game upset, Eagles are losing, then they go to the sideline to show the Eagles on the sideline, and the players are laughing and joking around. Like, to me, that is the most frustrating thing. I want players that care about winning as much as the fans. That's what I want, and that's what you're getting from A.J. Brown. So, to me, all of this stuff is a way bigger deal than it needs to be. And is A.J. Brown responsible for that because he didn't talk? I don't know. I think the media always is going to look for something to talk about and make a bigger deal than it is. I thought A.J. Brown sounded great. I think he showed you what a leader is. And I respect the fact that he didn't want to speak up, that he wanted to keep quiet. Because what is he going to say? What is he going to say? You know? But some of the things that he did actually say today, I think, are important. What I need to think about a little bit is about like Nick Sirianni and things like that. Like, listen, he respects Nick Sirianni. He likes Nick Sirianni. That's great. Me, I have my issues with Nick Sirianni right now, or should I say, Nick Kotite. I have my issues because at the end of the day, you're the coach, and your team lost 4 or 5. And your team blew a number 1 seed where you were 2 games up. And your team just blew the division last week. So, I'm sorry, I have some issues. But, you know, I'm a fan looking in on the outside. I can say what I want. It doesn't really matter what I think at the end of the day. It matters what these guys go and do. What are the Eagles going to do with this? With A.J. Brown saying what he said. And he said they were close. He said they missed a block on that second down run by Jalen Hurts, that if the block is made, he gets 30 yards. So the thing about it is, it's great that he talked. It's great that he's saying what he has to say. But the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, can this team turn it around? Can this team flip the switch? Can this team get back on track? I will tell you right now, if the Eagles can get back on track, they are very dangerous. They are very, very dangerous. The losing that you're seeing, the 4 out of 5 games that they lost, everything that's happened, it's not because they don't have talent, okay? And you know, I love A.J. Brown, I do. And I know he's not going to say anything bad about the coaches or anything like that. Even, listen, you know, if you want to be pessimistic about what he said, you could always say, well, listen, he had to say it. He had to come out and say it. The organization is going to make him come out and say it. And he's not going to throw the players, the coaches, or anybody under the bus. But that doesn't mean he really thinks it. All I can say to you is this. I'm not in the guy's head. I don't know what he's really thinking. I can only go on what he says. And to me, we can't run away and say, well, A.J. Brown came out and he said everything is all good and everything is great. Therefore, you know, the coaches are fine, the offensive coordinator is fine, the defensive coordinator is fine, the head coach is fine. We know that there's legitimate things that are off with these coaches. We all know it. But if the players still are willing to fight, if they still believe in everything, this team has tremendous talent. If they got on track and started playing good football, they could beat everybody. They could beat everybody on the road. They have that kind of capability. We watched this team go into Kansas City and win. We watched this team beat Buffalo. We watched this team early on in the season beat everybody. And it didn't matter how close the game was or not. They have the talent to do it. But I don't know really where the coaches and everything is at. Even with A.J. Brown saying stuff, and I liked everything A.J. Brown said. I thought he said all the right things, but I also think he said what he had to say. You know, so to me, we're going to find out how much this team believes in each other, how much they think they can, you know, get things back on track. We're going to see what this team really thinks of themselves, because there is no escape when you get to the playoffs. There is no, saying nice things and then going out there and not performing. It doesn't work that way. A.J. Brown said the right things. He did the right things. But there are still problems with this coaching staff, whether he's going to say it or not. And I wouldn't expect him to. But there is definitely problems still with this team, and they got a lot of stuff to fix going forward. And I think that's one of the things with Nick Sirianni. I think Nick's got to fix it. And I think we're going to find out a lot about Nick Sirianni as a head coach the coming week and the rest of the season, because you're going to playoffs, so you have to play in the first round now. If you have to play on the road, I really think Nick Sirianni needs to win at least one playoff game. I really, really do. But as far as today goes, hopefully this kind of clears up all the A.J. Brown stuff, and we can now move forward and get ready for the Giants and hopefully the Cowboys will lose, which who knows. But hopefully something will happen. So we'll see. I thought A.J. Brown was absolutely fantastic. Does that make everything better? No. This team's still losing, and they got to get better. Now, I got to tell you, I had to go back to work today. It sucks. Absolutely sucks. I like not working. I really need to do this full time. But anyways, I had to go back to work, and the next video we're gonna have to deal with another problem. We're gonna have to deal with Mr. Dang. Yo, Pizzle, I'm coming for them meats. We're coming for you, Pizzle. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. You know what my biggest fear going into this weekend is? I swear, you know what my biggest fear is? The Dallas Cowboys are going to lose to Washington. And we're going to be watching this game, and we're going to have it come over that Dallas is losing to Washington. And then the Eagles, with an opportunity to win the division and get it back, are going to lose to the Giants. That would be the ultimate torture if it happened. Could you imagine 2 chokers? Nobody knows who wants to win. It'd be bad. Denzel Washington out.